morning, good morning, good morning. Take two on this wonderful Sassy Sunday, because, it wouldn't be a Sassy Sunday if it wasn't, all up in smoke. But good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Nikki Damquitz. This is the Sass for Sunday, September 10th. And today we're going to be talking about all things Blanktastic. So Blanktastic is going to be launching not something that's new on the market. It's just that it's new to her shop. And we're going to be launching the holiday ornament of the year. For the last 3 years now, we have launched an ornament that is been the ornament of the year. So if you remember, let's take a time travel back, if you will. So we did the North Pole ornament, where you can customize it to add all the different names to it. We had the gingerbread ornament, where it was in the mason jar, and you could add the names to that. Well, this year will not disappoint. The only thing that is going to be slightly different is there's no pieces. It's a one-piece design. This is the 0.1 version. The only thing that was missing in this is the hole to hang it in the one that you're going to see me do today. And that's because we took something out of it so that it could be a one-piece design. So that is what we are doing for today, is that for Blanktastic. So let's talk about the new product for her. The new product for her is
Nikki.
Right here. Yeah.
We can't see you. I see you down on the bottom, but on the main screen, you can only see your banner.
Okay. Can you see, did it change?
Hold on. It's like hold on. Let's see.
Oh, did I not switch it over?
I don't think so.
All right, hold on.
So I can see, like, in the bottom in our back end, I can see your
I know
work area.
Because y'all didn't take me off.
There you go.
Somebody forgot to push buttons. It's okay. Now can you see me?
Yes.
Yay! Well, at least you heard me and you know what I'm saying. So there's that. So
yes, we could hear you. You were stuck on the screen. I was trying to share into the group.
No, that's okay. We forgot to hit buttons. Good morning. Now you know what I look like. You know what? Can I take like a take 4 on this? But anyway, we're going to talk about it. So luckily, I didn't show you a darn thing in the image, and the girls could tell you. No, what you're seeing right here is what you're getting right at the moment. Oh my good gracious. It is a Sunday. Did you know that most first days of school go off there's actually not a history of first days of school that they don't go off without a hitch, meaning there's always something wrong, there's something comical, and well, this is mine, so you're welcome. So good. You know what? I hope you're all having a chuckle. Can we just take a moment? Can we just take 5? Jeez Louise, I quit for the day. Anywho, so good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm just going to go to the comment section of the live right now. And the reason I'm just going to go to the comment section is just so that I can read the craziness that is. Yep, it is the first day of school. That is what it is. And it wouldn't be a Blanktastic kind of day if I didn't muck something up when I do her stuff. You know what? Well, we're not going to have any more issues. No more issues. Let's just talk about it. So the new item from Blanktastic is the Sublimation Acrylic. So the Sublimation Acrylic is not new on the market. You'll see it all over the place. The only thing is that Claire's going to be able to cut you custom shapes out of it. So let me show you some ones that this was the 0.1 version that I had pressed last week. I'm like, can we tweak this? Can we do the thing? We're going to do the thing. So here are ones that I've pre-pressed prior to. We're going to press some ones today. We're going to talk about it. I know that when you guys press acrylic, you have some problems, the cast acrylic, because the paper can stick. You have to have super light pressure, and a lot of you have backed away from the acrylic. So we have the circle. Let me see if I can flip my screen without the whole world setting on fire. Did my screen flip over? Sweet. Okay, so we have the round, We have the arabesque. We have this really cool square shape. We're going to be pressing another one of these today. We have the heart. We have the cross. Now, I will say, I don't know where my blank is for this one that I've already pressed, but we also do have the Benelux. Now, the Benelux is the standard shape that if you have a Benelux item, you will see that this is a very common shape. You just have to shrink it down. This is on the smaller side, so they're not huge Benelux shapes. So there is that. Now, what did we add? Well, let's talk about what we added to the wheelhouse. I'm kind of excited about this, and I literally left this to be pressed so that, you know, like moments like today when I can't manage to push a button to save my life, we have the acrylic. That's right. You see how thick that is? It's 5 millimeters thick. It's nice, thick acrylic. It's clear, but you only have to press the one side and you'll have your image on it. Now, here is something to note when it comes to the sublimation acrylic. Acrylic that had been specially coated for sublimation. All right. The one thing you want to note to it is don't mirror your image. You can't mirror your image for these because, again, it's almost like printing through glass. So we're going to be printing that. What else are we going to be printing? We're going to tell you what this little tidbit of information is. Now, why is there a hole? Because this is a 4x6 clock. We're going to be pressing a beautiful memorial on this one that I made this morning. And then I will hold off because I don't want to show you the ornament of the year just yet. But let me just tell you, it's darling. I spent literally up until 2 o'clock this morning finishing designing him. He is completely hand-drawn. And I went in and I can't say completely. There's like 98% of him is hand-drawn. There's only one item on the whole thing that I did not hand draw. So there's me being honest. But let's just get down to the designs. Let me cut this out. Oh, I know, right? I promise not to have this issue anymore with the whole technical difficulties thing. First things first, let's press the clock. Let me just cut these pieces of paper apart. And the reason I don't want you to see the ornament of the year just yet, we're going to save that little nugget for last. Now I can flip this over. There. Now y'all can see my... So let's talk about the heat press. If you are new to sublimation, you need a heat press in order to press the item. So over in the back in the tiny square that you're looking at, I have my heat press. It is set for the sublimation acrylic at 375 for 90 seconds. You're going to want to use heavy pressure. I just heard an audible gasp that the fact that we are using heavy pressure on acrylic, you all just had heart failure. So here are some things to note about the acrylic. And I did find this out the hard way, so let's just talk about it. The acrylic has a plastic coating over the top. If when you pressed it, you forgot to take off your coating, don't worry about it. It's not going to destroy it. I literally did all of those sets that you saw prior to me showing you this. I forgot to take the plastic off. I pressed everything and then it peeled off. I was like, okay, there's a win for me. All right. But there is a coating or a protective film over it. You want to take the protective film off. There is no protective film on the back of this. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go throw this on the heat press real quick. I want to check my pressure on it. You're going to want butcher paper. That's definitely a thing that we use around here. You can get your butcher paper, the big rolls from Costco, Sam's, all the places. Can you use butcher paper or can you use parchment paper? You absolutely can use parchment paper in a pinch. I mean, a lot of people even use it just every day. Let me just fix this. Oh, she's perfect. Okay. So now that we've got that all figured out. So the protective film on the wrong side of the acrylic. So this is the back. You'll definitely know what the back of the acrylic looks like. It looks like it has a painted back to it. Okay. There's no protective film. When you flip it over, which is the right side of this, there is no protective film. Although I don't know because of the heat. So there is no protective film on this right now on this part. You got it. Okay. So let's just go. And I do tape mine down. So we're going to do this. So I've already taken off my film, but if you happen to leave it on by accident and it looks, if it has like it's like a fuzzy look to it, it's because you forgot to take off the film, is what this all boils down to. But I sat and took the film off of everything. Yes, I'm putting tape on this. No, I'm not using any type of spray. And I know those of you who have pressed cast acrylic are going, Nikki, you're going to leave tape marks. No, no. And I just totally taped that upside down now that I'm sitting here looking at it. No, I'm not going to have any tape marks for it. Can you just tell? Nobody caught me on that. I taped it upside down. So shiny side up. Note to self, shiny side up, dull side down. Nobody picked up that I just totally put that wrong. I just looked at the comments. Nobody did. Nice try, though. Good effort. Go team. Okay. Put this here. There we go. Nope. Okay, so this is what this will look like. I'm going to center this just a little bit better. And then we'll go like this. Now, I have done it with and without the plastic film on it. I have pressed it without it and with it, and I have yet to have tape marks. But you know what? Because it is a Blanktastic kind of day, it would be the day that I'm going to leave the tape marks. But you know what? We're going to test it out. So I'm going to go put this over on my heat press. I'm going to put it on for 375 for the 90 seconds. I'm going to press it like we do any other blank. That is butcher paper on the bottom. You have your substrate face up and your transfer face down. And then you're going to close it and let it go for 90 seconds. This is one of those low and slow kind of presses. You don't want to do high heat because of what it tells you with the instructions. It does tell you to use a little bit lower of a heat, and then you go in and you add a little bit extra time. So we do have that. Now we're going to work on this clock. So if you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it really well in the camera. You see how this has a dull finish and this has a shiny? That is the difference between the two. Now what I am going to do, I'm literally going to press this with the film on it, just so you guys can see it. We're going to do this together because that's what we do around here. So we're going to put the film. Now, what I did within my design, there's a dot in the center. The dot's not going to press because I'm going to line it up to make sure this is center with my image so that I know the right place to put it. Because even though, and it was for me to make my design and all, even though I can still line it up within the template, you can still be off. It could still be shifted off. By having this dot in the center of my image, it's going to help me guide it to make sure that it's perfectly quote unquote center. Okay, so we have that. Then we're also going to press the fidget spinners. That's right. So Claire and I wanted to see how these fidget spinners, let's see if we can pull this off. There we go. Now, most times there's still a film on this one. We're going to leave the film on this one. Most times with the acrylic, you have to put that piece in first. We're going to try to do it without. I am going to pull this off. She's perfect. Okay, I'm going to let those cool for a hot second. Do I have to put anything on them so that they don't warp? No, but I won't know if we have to do that with the larger piece of acrylic, but I know for the ornaments, we don't have to put anything on it so that it smushes down and it stays flat because look, Mom, no hands. Okay, so you can literally peel this, although it's hot, you could peel it right off of that. You know what? Burning hands for the win. Nope, here we go. You can pull it right off. The paper's not going to stick on it. And there you go. So does it have this slight warp? The bigger the items are, the more that they will warp a little bit. So I'm going to want to probably put something on this guy because I have a feeling he will warp, straight or not. So can you put something on top of it if you're afraid that it's going to warp? Yes, absolutely. Okay. And do I see any tape marks? Currently, no, I do not. Let me just see again. I know where I put it. I just want to make sure that is that a tape mark or is it just no, I don't see a tape mark. No tape marks. Look, Mom, no hands. Okay, so there is no tape marks. If you want, it does bow ever so slightly, so put a little bit of weight on the larger items. I definitely would do that. So this one did bow just a little, but that's a good to know thing. Because there's not a lot in this that we have done. Like, we're doing different shapes and you're going to need to see what it does. So here's what we're going to do. Leaving the film on this one. We're also going to put something heavy on top of it. Once I peel the backing off, I'm just going to peel the paper off, and then I'll put something heavy on top of it so that this guy does not bow because he is slightly larger. We're also going to see if I can't snap this guy out. Claire sent him to me with him in. So you know what? We're going to leave it. We're going to press this guy as well. Where did that go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Because it is football season and it is football Sunday, we are going to press a fidget spinner. We're going to add. So does it leave the tape marks? The answer is no, it does not. I'm looking at it. It's not leaving the tape marks, but we're going to leave the film on it just so you guys can see how easy it is, just in case you did forget to take it off. We're going to go throw these on the heat press right now as well. Now I am going to put some new butcher paper down. Why? Because on this butcher paper, and something for our newbies is why we change out our butcher paper in between, is because then you have this thing, it's called off-gassing. It off-gasses onto your paper, which can off-gas onto your next project. Even if you can't see it visibly, you cannot see, sometimes you can't see see? Sometimes you can't see the off-gassing, but that does not mean that it's not there. It just means that it's light enough for your eye not to pick up on it due to maybe the lighting in your shop, whatever it may be. So you don't want to go and put your project back on top of it or a different project and then have it off-gas onto your current project. Trust me, it happens. Let me give you another example. When I'm pressing metal ornaments, and I open my press too fast and the metal ornaments move, it can slide and now it's going to off gas again because they're so hot. So that's why we need to open up our presses slowly. Make sure we use clean butcher paper every time, because we want a clean product. We want something that's going to work. So I'm going to press two different items. We have the fidget spinner and we have the clock. Add those into here. People are asking me what paper I'm using. I use printer jack paper now. That's a Sass that was over the summer. Okay, so I've got it in here. I've got my sublimation burrito. I'm going to add something heavy on the top of this. I do have a board just so that it stays flat while it cools. I am going to pull the paper off of it though, because the paper comes off so beyond easy. But we're going to drop it like it's hot, because we know that it is. All right, so now that we have that dropped, let's talk about the ornament of the year. This guy is a cutie, and I'm just going to press him. I'm not going to show him to you until after he is completely pressed. But it allows for 10 names, no added pieces, and it's just adorable. And I sat and I hand drew him last night. I am so excited for this while everything is working. Look to see school is back and missed this. That's okay. School is back. Shady's back. Don't worry. I won't be having these technical difficulties. Again, at least in 5 years, I celebrated 5 years of doing the Sass this past summer. And well, here's the thing. I haven't had a lot of technical errors in the last 5 years, but I've upgraded some things on my back end here, and I think that that's what it's doing. I've added new programs like an embroidery program, and I don't think I can have my embroidery program running while I'm having all of this running. So it's taking a lot of power with all the new things that I have going on. Let me just line this up. You're like, Nikki, I can't see what you're doing. I know. It's okay. So here are some things that you could be doing while you're getting ready for those vendor shows. I went to a vendor show this past weekend, and honestly, they called it a craft show, and it wasn't a craft show. It was vendor shows that they ordered stuff in from China, and it was already done, already made home decor. It wasn't your true crafter. Now, I left the big one on so you guys can watch me do this. I'm going to go get my glove, okay, because that's a thing. And I'm going to get my board. I have this cutting board, okay? You can just go get a heavy wood cutting board. Works great for putting it on your products. I'm literally, so can you bend this acrylic? Yes, you can. But what I'm going to do is quickly pull this off because as soon as it cools, it bends. We're going to put that on top of it. And then we're going to do the same thing for this guy. Peel this off. We're just going to put this on top, slide it under. And the weight from that will make it so that it goes flat. That's it. All she wrote. If you notice, I did not fight with it. I will take the film off underneath the camera so you guys can watch me take the film off. But for right now, we're just going to let it cool. Can you bend that clock into an arc? You absolutely can. Just be careful with the clock mechanism that goes on the back. Can you make it so that she can make you photo frames and stuff of that nature? But you want to just give it a push down onto your cutting board. It does not take long. These cool off very quickly. So we don't have to worry too much about that. And it's done. So now, ow, let's pull off this film. So there are a couple different ways you can pull this film off. Most times I'd like to use my Pro Puff tool. And we're going to use that first because that is my go-to when it comes to peeling off. Now, if you notice, this has a matte finish. That's because I left the film on this. All right, so what we're going to want to do is come up in here. Now, can you use your picker tool? You can. You absolutely can. So I use the spatula side of my Pro Puff tool. And we're just going to push this back. There we go. Come on. It's because it's hot and I'm having a hard time with my fingers. Okay. There we go. Now, when you pull this back, perfect. And there we go. It's really not hard. It's just taking the plastic off of this. So you could do it before, you could do it after. If you're worried about tape marks for whatever reason, leave the plastic on. Okay. If for me, I did not notice that there was a difference, and that's okay. There doesn't have to, you know, everybody to each their own. But just know that if you forgot and you look at it and it looks rather fuzzy and you can't figure out why in the world does this look fuzzy? Well, because you didn't take the plastic off. So it lets you know. But another thing too, just as a food for thought, that also makes it great for when you're traveling to vendor shows. You could always leave that plastic on and then peel it off right before you give it to your client. This way that top stays nice and glossy, doesn't get any scratches on it from being butted up against something, that kind of thing. So now, why is this giving me a hard time today? There we go. We're going to use the picker side of this because there we go. Probably should have done that to begin with. So, in a nutshell, there you go. So you could leave the film on while it's traveling, while it's in storage. And then once you're done, you end up with a really cool fidget spinner. So I would put the pieces on the inside because it is acrylic. I would still put that metal piece that we talked about, the rotating thing inside. But look, so, oops, that's a piece of the acrylic. That's what the top looks like. That's what the back looks like. So they could still see it, but it's nice and thick and it has a cool look to it. So all the fidget spinner shapes that we currently have, you absolutely, and then it's one press, no fuss, no muss, and there you go. They are going to be great for keychains. They're going to be great for earrings. They're going to be great for this, which is the clock. They're going to be great for a lot of different things that you can do. So now let's pull this whole thing apart. I've never put a clock together in a day in my life. So this could all just end well or not end well, because life came with no instructions. I bet you this guy goes on here. Where does this sit? Do you ever just go, yeah, why? Okay, that's how that goes. All right, so what we're going to do is, because I have no clue, at the end of the day, how to put this together. You guys are going to know far better than I will at some point. We're just going to put this down. Okay. And then this guy goes on here. And just remember, I have no idea. Not a clue. I don't have the instructions. Oh, you know what? I bet you that goes right in there. Oh, I bet you that's where it goes. And then this goes on top. Come on. Did I mention I've never put a clock together? So this, hold on. Yep, so that's how that's got to go. We're going to put this through the hole. Oh, see, now I'm becoming smarticle particles. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Sometimes even the seemingly smartest people in the universe have a moment. Okay, so just giggle at the light bulb moments that I have too. I do have them. Okay, I do. I really do have these light bulb moments where it goes, oh, that's how that goes together. Just bear with me. You're like, Nikki, this is how you do it. Right. So the sublimation acrylic, like I said, is not new at all on the market. It's been around for, gosh, years now. And I've had different forms of the sublimation acrylic. So when you have that, it's one of those things that it was really cool to learn how to use the sublimation acrylic, right? I just like the idea that we can sit and we can make them into different shapes now, and we're not stuck to the norm. You want a new shape, we can do that, right? That's the thing. Let me make sure, because this is a definite flat end. And so there's that. Yes, if you buy the clock mechanism and that's what you want, there's instructions. Nikki's not into the instruction life, clearly. No, there's no batteries in this. Don't ask. But at least you now know what it looks like. I will get the instructions on, so I make sure that this is on here correctly. But at the end of the day, at least you know what this is supposed to look like. And there you go. Now you could leave it to where it doesn't, it's a non-working clock, because like this says, I'd stop the hands of time just to have 5 more minutes with you, right? And it could be on the time of the past, or it could be a real working clock, whatever you want to make it at. But at the end of the day, it's absolutely gorgeous. It does come with feet, so you can stand it on a desk. This is meant to be on a desk. So you're able to put that wherever you want. And that beautiful human that is no longer with us is my grandmother, the crafter of all crafters in my world. So yep, if I could just have 5 more minutes, I absolutely would give those 5 more minutes just to be with her. All right, so now let me go over to the heat press. What is the design on your earrings? They look lovely. These are Care Bears, because I need a Care Bear kind of day. They are Care Bears. Yep. All right. The Care Bear earrings are made out of clay, and they came from my niece who makes them. So, all right. You can see only on the little camera, I did my burrito. I have my MDF blank. I'm going to literally bring this down just a little bit because the MDF is slightly smaller in thickness than it is with the acrylic. So let's talk about this acrylic. The acrylic, $375 for 90 seconds, firm pressure. Do you have to take the film off? No, you don't. Can you leave the film on and will it ruin your project? Absolutely not. It will not ruin your project at all. You can peel it off afterwards so that you can load it up with tape if you want and don't have the risk of tape marks. Although I will tell you, there are absolutely no tape marks on this guy. He is absolutely gorgeous. Now, you're going to ask me, Nikki, where did you get that design? Well, that's a design from last year that I put in there and made a frame for it. I absolutely love this shape. It is the new shape out of Blanktastic. And then, of course, y'all know about this guy. This is called the Arabesque. So you have that. So you could see where I made some modifications in size. All right. Again, this is a design that I made. This design is the new design coming out of the Sassy Subber. So that one will definitely be available. This is just with the frame. I can also make that available if you want. We already have this fidget spinner. It's the football one. Love this because y'all know how much I love that. This was just a digital paper. Now, we did take out of the new cross shape, we did take out, although it's the same size, we did take out the holes so you can make more, design area for this. Absolutely gorgeous. And the light shines through these. So you can have some beautiful things. I just want to take a peek under the hood, if you will. Just want to make sure she pressed okay. And of course it did. Gonna let it cool. Oh my God, he's adorable. Okay, we're gonna just hold it right there. What else do we have out of there? We have this rectangle shape with the rounded edge on the opposite corners. This, absolutely love this shape, just because it's not your standard rectangle. So I absolutely love this. The designers will be getting hold of these, but because it's brand new, we wanted to show you literally the trials and tribulations of pressing these, which aren't many. So $375 for 90 seconds, firm pressure. Leave your plastic on, off, doesn't matter. That's completely dealer's choice, if you will. So there's also a heart-shaped one. You're going to have your round. Now, I took literally my wind spinner that I made, and I put that in the middle of this. What a great way to use those wind spinner designs. Okay. Then, of course, you have some of your fidget spinner shapes. Any of your try it again. Any of your Benelux shape, you just have to shrink them down. It will fit. This is about 3 inches by 2 something. So this is about a 3-inch wide Benelux. Again, there's the size difference from the 0.1 version to the 2.0 version. We did up in size on some of these. So there you go. We have all of those. All right. Now, for the piece de resistance. Oh, no, we're not there yet. Okay, so this is the clock. It is 4x6 if you're looking for the size. It does come with a hole in the center so that you can make it into whatever you want. But if you're looking for a custom shape, reach out to Claire. She will definitely help you. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm uber in love with him. And it's, you know what? It's the eyes for me. It's totally the eyes. If you know, you just know. You ready? Drum roll, please. The 2023 Ornament of the Year coming out of Blanktastic. We've been doing this for the last 3 years. We've offered a family style ornament, and we affectionately call this the Sandy. That's right. So our member, Sandy Troutman, loves the fact that we come out with a new ornament every year that she can use for her family ornaments. There's always been a catch. There has to be a place to put multiple names. And one of the things that we have done over the last 2 years, and now this being our third, is that you get the complete kit, right? You've gotten kits before that you can add up to 8 names. You could add, subtract, do what you needed to do. This year, because we're trying to keep things a little bit more streamlined and simple, You only have to add the names. It already comes with all the pieces, so to speak. And it doesn't matter if you leave a name on or off. It's completely up to you. But there is no extra pieces required. And here he is. Welcome to the 2023 Ornament of the Year. This is our reindeer with the light bulbs wrapped in his antlers. He is uber cute. I mean, look at those eyes. Those eyes are just so dreamy. I mean, how can you not love those eyes? Yes. The only thing that is not hand-drawn by me on this thing is the present. Everything else is all hand-drawn by me with my Wacom, for everybody who likes to ask. I sat and I do the shades and the gradients. I use my Photoshop to create this beautiful piece of artwork. He is uber cute. We're going to get up a little close up. So what you could do is you could add the names to all the light bulbs. Now, if you leave off a name, that's fine. You have up to 10 spaces for a name. You can then put 2023 on the bottom on the present if you so choose. But how cute and darling is he? Look at the detail. We're going to get in really close. We're going to get in that close money shot of all the detail on him. Uber cute. Look at those eyes. It's the eyes for me. It really is. How do you say no to that? How do you say no to those eyes? Right? He is just so freaking cute. And I love the fact that when you can do a family ornament, let's talk about it. We got our vendor shows coming up, and you don't want to have to carry stock for a family of 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, right? That's just hard for us. So while yes, we have had kits in the past, which have been fantastic because you can glue on added pieces. This guy is a no glue. He literally, I gotta tell you, when you're drawing something at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're praying that it's going to have everything fit, everything's going to sit where it needs to be, nothing is notched out where it's not supposed to be, like there's this crazy notch in a light bulb. Like those are the things, those are the attention to detail that I look at. And I mean, you don't have like these little cuts inside of and that just shows you how much I want your product to be perfect. I will zoom in and zoom out 1,000 times to make sure that this product will literally press perfectly for you every time. And honestly, he's just like, I need him on everything. I worked hard on him. So let me show you what the blank itself looks like. Claire and I went in and we did some tweaking, if you will. This had a lot of cuts and holes in here. For a laser cut and trying to sand things up and keeping things smooth, we closed them up. We added the tree behind it. And this is what it looks like. It's all closed in, right? This way it allows for you to allows for us designers to have a little bit more creative freedom, but at the same time, what it's going to do is not have to worry about all those nooks and crannies and make sure that you've poked everything out. The only difference with the two shapes that I have right here is Claire's adding a hole. We had a backer board for it that was going to be cute, but because of the way we redesigned this, we took it out and made it just the ornament. So this is the 2023 ornament coming out of Blanktastic. He is our reindeer wrapped up with light bulbs around his antlers, and this is the thing for the year for those family ornaments. Adorable! Can't wait to take pictures of him. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, so let's talk about all things Blanktastic. Although it started out craptastic this morning, it is ending on a beautiful high note. Everything subbed perfectly. I had no problem subbing anything today. So let's talk about those details while I show you off all the things. This is the part of the Sass that we call the rewind. This is where I get to talk to you about all the things we just talked about over the last 45 minutes or so and trying to get everything, prepared. First things first are the sublimation acrylics. Not new to the sublimation scene, just new to Blanktastic. Okay. She could custom cut for you all of the shapes. Whoops, not that one. This one, because that's the bigger size. So these are all the shapes out of Blanktastic that she is cutting, as you can see. Fidget spinners. She'll be able to do earrings. She'll be able to do all these beautiful shapes that you're seeing right here. These were ones that were smaller that I had already done. This is the clock. It is a 4x6 clock. Make sure you know how to use the clock and put it all in there. I clearly need instructions for it, but that's okay. Y'all still love me. So this clock is a desk set clock. It does come with the feet that you set on it. Perfect for those desks. You can make it a memorial. You can make it have just a beautiful saying onto it. It really is completely up to you at the end of the day. So that is that right there. Absolutely love the clock idea. And you know what? This is also great for kids' rooms because they need to learn how to tell time on a regular clock and not a digital one. Okay, so there you go. Great memorial piece, everyday piece, whatever you choose to put on it. You have your arabesque shape, heart, round, rectangle with adjacent, adjacent opposite rounded corners. You have your Benelux. We have our fancy square, which I'm not even sure what we're calling this, but you know what? It's just darling. Absolutely love this, right? You have your heart and your fidget spinner space shapes as well. Now, again, it's $375 for the 90 seconds firm pressure. We talked about whether or not to leave the film on or off. That is completely dealer's choice at that point, whether or not you do. I did not. I took the film off of this one. There are no press lines from my tape. Beautiful. How do we press it? You make yourself a burrito. You're going to put your butcher paper down. You're going to put your image, your substrate face up, your image face down. And now there is a definite side of this. You can tell the difference. Do I still have film on one of these that I can show you? No, I do not. I think I took the film off of all of these. Oh, no, here we go. So this is what it looks like with the film still on it. It definitely has a matte look. If you flip it over, you can see where that sublimation part of it is. When you flip it over, you definitely know the difference. Don't worry, you can't screw that up. Okay. Even when it's glossy, you want the glossy side face up, the matte side face down if you've already taken off your film. A nice user tip that I said is leave your film on until you're ready to go and sell it. Maybe you've already pre-pressed it. Maybe you're selling them at a vendor show. Leave the film on. Take the time at the vendor show. Peel the film off then if you can. If not, then that's completely up to you. But it does protect this from getting scratched. So we did talk about that. Can you peel it off hot after you've pressed it? Absolutely can. You also want to put something on top of your acrylic so that it does not bow. I probably could have added a little bit more pressure on that, but that's okay. So you want to definitely add something so that when it does flatten out, or it has to flatten out, otherwise it will bow. You can bend this. You can bend this acrylic. All right, so there is that as well. So keep that all in mind. Do you have to do it on these? Let me just show you. This guy is slightly bent, so you might want to just get in the habit of all of your acrylic items, the sublimation acrylic, just like you do with all the other acrylic. Just put something heavy on it, let it flatten out, put some pressure on it, literally put your body pressure on it, give it a good 10, 15 seconds. This stuff cools down very easily. All right, move it along. And then we introduced that guy right there. That is the new 2023 ornament. It is the reindeer with the light bulb and the antlers for you to add up to 10 names for the custom piece for you to add to your wheelhouse. So there is that as well. The square is called Milan and the rectangle is called London. There we go. So this one is called London and the square is called Milan. So now you know, and we're all in the know here. Even though it started out pretty rocky this morning, the Sass is back in session. We're going to be live every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern. As long as my equipment works, don't worry, I'll get it all figured out before next Sunday so we don't have to do this all over again. And I will remember to push buttons or have the girls at least push buttons. Thank the ladies behind the helm. We have Jody and Jess behind the helm this morning who are putting in all the comments in the links, all the stuff on the page, doing the things that we need to do. You can also head over to blanktastic.com. Say hello to Claire this morning and tell her I'm sorry. So there is that. Thanks so much, guys, for watching me today on our first back to school in session here at the Sass. Until next time, I'll see you all nowhere. Whoop, on the flip side.